Hey everyone, welcome to ShanZee Vibes. We're talking life, love, and sex, but not the picture perfect kind. We're vibing with the messy, the funny, and the oh so real moments nobody else dares to discuss. This is ShanZee Vibes. Hey everybody, welcome to ShanZee Vibes. I'm your host ShanZee. My guests today are husband and wife team Cindy and Alistair MacKay. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. I'm so excited.
We're happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Happy. You guys traveled a couple of hours away to get to where we are.
In the rain.
Yeah, not a very nice day out there at all. So when I decided that I was going to do podcasting, I knew what I wanted to touch on, what subjects I wanted to touch on. And one of them is a couple of them are what we're going to talk about today. So I found out we had some similarities in our children.
Yes.
So as I was talking, first of all, how do we know each other? What's our story? What's our story?
We've actually known each other a long time
Yeah.
through your brother.
Yeah.
And Alastair and your brother worked in
in Vancouver together. He lived with us in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And then he started to date Pam, which is his wife. So
Right.
And I've known Pam since elementary school. So
So y'all are Sarnia
So
people.
we
are.
are, yes.
Yeah. We stole him.
So how long?
So I remember Pam and Todd's wedding, I think is when we probably first showers and all of the get-togethers and the things and that, so my youngest is 25, just turned 25, and I was pregnant
For them.
with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
25
So 25
years.
25, 26
They've
years.
been married 25 years.
They've been married
Yeah.
25 years.
Yep.
Yep.
And we knew him a lot longer than that, but yeah, it's a long time to know you.
Yeah, that's right. And it's a great big family. They have a huge friend community, which I'm so envious of. It's lovely to see. I mean, open doors, drop everything for anybody. You call, that call is picked up, you talk every day. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. And
We're very lucky.
Very, very fortunate to have friends like that. I love it. I love to see it. And I love y'all.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I mean, that's the thing that we like about our friend group is that it is extremely supportive.
Absolutely.
And we would often go to them before we went to family members.
Of course. Because sometimes
Trust is there.
Yeah.
And
No
the
judgment.
non-judgment
That's right.
is a
No
huge
judgment.
key
Huge,
part.
a safe space.
For
They
sure.
provided a safe space. Well, that's what I want to do for everybody here. And today we're going to take a page out of the book of life. And we're going to talk some similarities between my youngest daughter and Alastair and Cindy's oldest son and middle child, who have mental health issues with borderline personality disorder and addictions.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So when were the first kind of clues, signs about, let's talk about the daughter. Let's talk
Okay.
about
So she's
the daughter.
That's okay. So she probably we first saw signs
in
probably
school.
in high school, right? We thought she was doing great until like a report card showed up.
Okay.
And so it was really the beginning of the term. She was like flying through it, straight A's, and then by the end of the term, like she was at a 50.
Just dropped
Yeah.
off.
Just everything fell apart.
Okay.
So that was kind of like our first, like, what's going on.
And nothing was hidden. She didn't hide anything she knew. Was she transparent
didn't
about
know.
it, or did you find
just
out
like-
happenstancely?
I don't think it was something about transparency, right? I don't think she knew what was going on with
Okay.
her. We certainly didn't know. It was
Okay.
very different
Yeah.
than what we'd been used to with Kier and how she was interacting with us,
Sure.
or lack of interacting with us, and then how her relationships with her friends seemed to be pretty tumultuous.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
and again,
like
at that age, sometimes
relationships, I mean, drugs started to come into the picture.
Okay. What was her drug of choice?
Just pot
weed?
was the first sure,
Yeah.
the start of
I
everything.
think that's everything.
It is.
Right? It's so
gateways,
I think
right?
it
to
really-
yeah.
It's a gateway.
I never believed that it was really a gateway until the two of them.
I think the younger generation, it's a gateway. For
yeah.
us, it was like,
Yeah, just good time.
Yeah.
it's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It still is a good time.
I was gonna say, for some, it still is.
It still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
nothing as like in toddler years or like growing up, you didn't see.
She was she would have extreme emotions.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Outbursts.
looking back,
Yeah.
right? She
couldn't control. What's the couldn't regulate her emotions?
Yeah,
couldn't regulate
that's right.
Which
exactly.
is what the BPT is,
Right,
right? It's really
right.
about self-regulation, and again, it wasn't a daily thing
Yes,
or
yes,
a weekly
right.
thing, but when it
It's just
happened,
whatever.
It was just like
whatever
a-
set it off.
Yes.
It was it.
And
Tornado.
like from
Yes.
0 to 100.
Yeah. Escalates
When we-
so quickly.
Yeah.
On a dime.
But we didn't put it all together until
Yeah.
really
No.
we found out her diagnosis, and then we look back and we're like, oh.
So this was what is she now? She's
26.
26.
So 26 years ago. So
Yeah.
again, mental health was not that.
Exactly.
There's a huge probably stigma more than there is now about it, but it just wasn't talked about at that time. Nobody talked about it. It was very hush hush for some.
Yeah.
But I think now. So we just didn't pick up on any of the clues. We didn't know.
We didn't know.
And what is kind of ironic, but our big aha moment was like, because our oldest son, he had addiction problems.
Sure.
And so we started to take a night school course, like a 12-week NAMI.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
The NAMI
Brilliant.
course. I would highly recommend it to anybody.
CMHA. Is that what it's through?
Okay, so before we go any further, let's just talk about a little bit about the program. What is it? What does it do?
So NAMI is probably, what's it stand for? Like National Association for Mental Illness.
No.
Okay.
And so you basically, it was a 12-week course where you learn about every mental,
Yeah.
Love that.
every disorder,
Yep.
anything and everything mental health. And then it was through that when we were talking, it was a night about like bipolar, borderline,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like because you're talking about each illness specifically and in detail,
Okay.
that we kind of looked at each other when we started doing the borderline,
Yeah.
and we're checking boxes.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
It was
Kier.
Yeah, and it was wild.
Yeah. So I have the book Living with Somebody with Personality,
Oh yeah.
borderline personality,
Yeah.
and exactly checking. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, oh
Yes.
my gosh.
Yes.
And it just recently, I've started to educate myself on it, and
Okay.
it's amazing
Yes.
the things that we could have done. Looking back on it now, looking back and just knowing and educating yourself at the moment it was
Yeah.
happening, but
Yes.
again, wasn't talked about.
Right.
Yeah.
It just,
you don't know what you don't know.
and single mom, like
Yeah.
it didn't have
Yes.
the support.
Through that
That you
nanny
guys-
program, a lot of things were articulated, but the biggest thing was this is not your child's illness. This is a family illness.
Yeah.
If you're gonna
Yeah.
if you're gonna combat it, that's not the way to go. You really have to embrace the
Yes.
personalities that are there.
Yep.
And find ways to cope. And
Manage
was
it.
through our education, I think that helped certainly our daughter.
Yeah.
You know,
And we furthered our
Oh, yeah,
education.
we did more.
We
that was the tip of the iceberg, really, for us. Then
Yeah.
we just delved deeper into it, just to be again more empowered and more controlled.
I love that you guys faced it together and
Oh,
presented
yes.
a unified front, because that's something I wish that I had
Yeah.
when I was going through it, just the support. And again, family, you can talk to family as much as you
Right,
can, but if you
right.
don't have somebody even going through it, or like, I wanted to know about it, I wanted to help, but was getting pushback from the ex.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't want medicated, like
Right.
he didn't want her
Right.
to be medicated. It was
Right.
just very,
Right.
nope.
No,
That's it.
and
So
I
love
it is
that.
good that we did it together, because
For
I didn't
sure.
want to come home and go, guess what I learned? Like I needed him to hear it from who I
Of
was hearing
course.
from it, and then we could use the same
Of
vocabulary
course, the verbiage
deal with-
sure,
Yep.
every situation. We need to be on the same page.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And then
I
you
think
could,
it made a
and I think that was great
difference.
for Kier too,
Yeah.
because you guys were united, and she
Yes.
saw that you guys were. I mean,
It took us a while to tell her.
Yeah.
We hid
Yeah.
it from her, like
okay.
just for a little bit, because we weren't sure how she was going to take that.
So she didn't know at this time.
Like,
you
she
had
did-
just self-diagnosed, or
We
like,
kind of self-diagnosed. She did get the diagnosis, but she still was like
she wasn't accepting.
she
of it.
wasn't
convinced.
yeah, she wasn't truly convinced,
No.
I feel. And so when we were taking the other course, it's called SASH through the Sash Bearer Foundation, and it's for families to cope. It's coping skills for families who have a loved one with borderline personality disorder. And so we were learning all these skills, and I wasn't sure if having that conversation with her, if she would kind of throw it back in our face. So we really needed to become knowledgeable and I think more expert at the skills.
Yeah, we could certainly practice.
Yes.
Communicating with her, right?
Telling her, like, this is what we're doing. And literally the minute we told her, she thought we were the world's greatest parents.
Yeah.
For
learning.
Learning about it. She was ready.
Yeah.
She was ready. When we told her, she was ready to hear it. So
I love that.
Yeah.
So my daughter and I just had a conversation last night, actually, and I was telling her that you were coming on, and I just same thing. She goes, "I'm so proud of you for wanting to educate yourself about it."
Yeah.
I said, "It took me a long time, but I think that's just the best way to go about it and face it, face it on, head on, and let's see what we can do as a united front to get this."
Well, especially with borderline too.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot. People never talked to people said
not.
bipolar.
Yes.
You heard that term on the regular.
Yes.
But this term borderline, we were like, what exactly is
I think
it?
there's some reluctancy for medical professionals to actually use that label,
really? Okay.
because it mimics or it mirrors so many other of the personalities, right? So but we're happy that she's done that, and she's gone through a bunch of her own therapy. She learning how to self-regulate. Again, I think it's like an addiction where you're an alcoholic and you go to AA and you're still an alcoholic the rest of your life.
Forever.
So she will still have to work on
it's a
that self-regulation.
Yes, it's a lifetime job.
Yeah. But it becomes just habit, right?
Yeah.
Like this is what I do now.
Yeah.
This is how I think about stuff through the day, and this is how I stay in the moment and recognize what could possibly be a trigger for her.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's a good point. They have to recognize that. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
So I have both wrapped up in one child, addictions, and I feel like mental health and addictions kind of go hand in hand, right?
Absolutely.
So, okay. So addictions. How did we see signs? How did we know? Is it the pot smoking again? And
He
when did it start?
Yeah, pot, 12.
Early on.
Just
and our rules were very different.
Loves
We were really against the idea of a young teenager having drugs in the house. And it was combative at times, and again at a very young age.
Yeah.
He's not living at home, right? Because we're like, it's our rules. This is how you have to live, and he's chosen a different path.
And the other two were like 10 and 8.
Yeah.
So we had to protect.
Sure.
We're trying to protect them as well.
Yeah. The irony is, 7 years later, I'm growing pot in my backyard.
Yeah.
So, times change, right?
He throws that at us all the time. Do you remember when you kicked us out?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of really, when you think about it, small potatoes, but it wasn't the only thing. There were other things.
So what's his drug of choice now? Do we know?
Yeah.
Well,
he loves
still be weed. That would be his.
And crack.
And then crack, cocaine.
Yeah.
And do you know how is it smoked?
He's very honest about it. Like when it comes to when he's ill, and we don't see him for days and days and days and days, or weeks and weeks.
Are you using ill as a withdrawal, or are you using ill as using?
Using.
Okay.
His illness is definitely using.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought you meant physically ill, but I get it.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Yep.
Because we almost feel like when he's not using, he is an amazing human being.
Of course
like he gains the weight back. He's involved in our life. He's
a member of society. Wants to do all of the things.
Yes.
All of the good things and make himself right. And
he's accountable and responsible. There's times when we'd like him to do a little bit more, but I think if it's anything that pushes him over the edge, it's alcohol. Starts with the alcohol, and then the other drugs will come. That's so true. Yeah.
His demon is probably the alcohol, And
that
then
leads to
because he just makes all the wrong. It always starts with alcohol, and all the wrong decisions follow after.
So okay.
Like he's got an addictive personality to begin with, and it just
and mental health as well, along comes depression, anxiety.
I would say he developed more anxiety because of the drug use.
Yes.
He was on he was ADHD, right?
Okay.
Now, not that that's a mental illness, but that his brain activity just couldn't shut it off.
Yep.
Hard to focus, bored often, right?
So from grades 2 to 7, he was on medication for ADHD.
Okay.
And then again, still not a lot of information out there. We as parents said, let's get through puberty. Let's take him off the meds.
Sure.
Let's give him a chance at puberty. But it wasn't. It was like he knew he needed something to slow his brain down.
Okay.
That's when the discovery of pot.
Sure.
And then it's just, he's the guy. He's a risk taker. He will try anything.
That's
he wants to. He will.
Oh my God. I'm getting like fear.
Yeah.
As a mother, hearing that
I'm
from
sorry.
somebody. No, don't. It's just.
But it's our truth. It is our truth, though.
Yeah. I get it.
He will.
I love that.
He will try anything once for sure.
Yeah.
And if he loves it, we're doomed. He's doomed.
So, Kira is on the way and is doing well. Not
amazing,
so much
but she had to do the work.
Yes,
I mean,
and you have to. You can't do it for them.
She had to do the work.
Lead them to water.
Yeah,
or
she's
you can
very.
lead them to water,
yeah,
but you can't
not
not make them drink.
No,
I had to learn that very. And I think I've just come to realize that I just had to just let it go.
Yeah,
you have to. You have to make them want to come back for whatever reason. You want to make them realize that they deserve.
Yes, all the
life, all the good that they can have. Right.
Well, the opportunities that they would have, right?
For sure.
The resources they would have.
Yes.
The friends that we have. It's like that extended family, that connection that are there to support and want to know.
Yeah.
Are they doing well? How are they doing? Because they don't want to hear the sad old shit every time. Because then they're going to stop asking.
True. Yeah. And we do have friends that are just like, they know when we go quiet. Like they can read us. They know when we go quiet.
Radio silent is really what you mean by that.
Yes.
Right? Like
we kind of just, there are times where we still have to kind of, and our friends are respectful of that.
Of course they are.
They'll be like, are you okay? What can we do? And if they're really good to just be like, we'll do whatever you need.
Yeah, whatever you need.
Yeah.
We're there. We're not.
Yeah, we're here for you. And we understand. Because we don't want to be the ones that are like, oh,
God. Oh, no.
Here we go again. You want to hear what happened today? Yesterday?
Update.
Exactly.
Here we go.
But for Kiera, she, just to get back to her, she's done the work.
Yeah.
She's so mindful of when she's low, that what she needs.
And I think that comes with maturity as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think 25, it just seemed to oh my gosh, I'm hearing things that I've never heard her say before.
Yes.
Like I'm seeing actions. I'm seeing change.
Yeah.
I'm seeing change, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
I think a lot of time for Kiera, it was like, I might be struggling, but the way I've been coping with things isn't working.
Right.
And I she matures and then realizes, okay, mom and dad have changed, right? They're different how they approach things. Maybe I need to do a little bit. And I think her doing as much of the stuff that she's done has been great.
Yeah.
It's been really good.
A huge part of that is reflecting on or looking at coming from their side, coming from your side, my mom and dad have done all of this. What have I done to help, or what have I?
Yes.
That's what I'm getting now.
Yes.
She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm seeing all the things that you've done, and I appreciate everything you've done for us. So I love. Not that I need it.
No.
Not that we need the pat on the back, but oh my God, finally
it feels great to hear it even.
It really does.
To feel, to hear it. Yes.
It really, really does.
I know.
Well, that was Kiera talking with you the other day.
Yeah.
About, I'm so sorry for you and Dad because of her brother.
Right.
And meanwhile, we're like, hey, remember when you
Yeah.
were like that?
Of course.
Sure,
But
she
we
does.
didn't.
Yeah,
we
we don't
did
say that. Sure,
We did say that, but
we don't want to bring that
But
back.
we're just
Let me
like
check you for a
FaceTime.
second.
Like seriously, it's like it was really good. We're just FaceTime. We're like, this is insane that you're giving me all the.
And I feel like you can just see it.
Yeah.
Like I can see it.
Yeah.
Like it's just a look on the face that I've not seen in a very, very long time.
Good.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, there you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Isn't that
person in the world?
Yeah.
There you are.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it is amazing.
We never thought we'd get there.
I
Like I
know.
never would have predicted. I just thought when you're deep in it, it's gonna last forever.
And I'm not naive to think that this is
this
going
you
to
can't
be
drop.
it.
Yes.
No.
Right?
Yes.
I'm not it's just happened.
You're
Nothing
right.
shocks me, as we were
Yes.
talking before.
Yes.
I'm well aware of what could happen, and it's a lifelong commitment to help her out. And
That is so true.
And I'm sure you guys have had to wipe your hands because I had to, like, after the first grandchild.
Yes.
There was a second one, and I couldn't do it. I was
Right.
physically, mentally broken. Not a good time. And this was 2 years after the first one came to us.
Yes.
It was another incident where I'm going out. Okay, this is great. And then she just fell apart. Like it just, So I'm not naive to think that it can't happen again.
Right.
No.
Which would be heartbreaking again.
Yeah.
But I think the most heartbreaking because now she's involved with her children.
Yeah.
And
yes.
But again, I can see a huge change. Anyway, yes.
And even though like for Kier, she's had some, it's been a couple years now, like she's really done the work. She continues. I have PTSD from it.
You know what?
So when that phone rings and I see that it's her, I do for a moment,
Cindy.
I pause, I take a deep breath, and I just kind of get myself emotionally ready for what's going to happen.
Great point. Because I've never, like my childhood was fantastic and I grew up in a loving home and there was a few things that happened as far as other people who passed, but that's the most traumatic thing that's really happened in my life. I haven't grown up with trauma. So me to say that, oh my gosh, I've had trauma in the last 3 years is it's different for me. Like I never thought of it like trauma, but now that I'm seeing counselors and I'm getting help and I'm talking about it, it's trauma. And when she says, I'm going out, I'm like, oh yeah. I think that's a good idea. Like it just instantly my belly tightens and I get that. And I'm like, that's trauma. That's PTSD from leaving a weekend and never coming back.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm like getting anxious
Yeah.
about it
Just thinking about it now,
Yeah. Because I remember
You could put
I
yourself
literally
there.
had an aha moment in the shower.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, that's trauma. And I had to go back to her and say, I acted that way. I reacted that way to you saying that because of the trauma. And also, it's been forever since my husband and I have been able to go out on a date.
Yes.
And she's saying, well, I can't because I'm not taking the kids, or I can't take the kids because she doesn't have her kids full time.
Yes.
We have custody of them. But it was her birthday. Anyway, plans didn't go. She wanted to go to the movies and I got mad and I'm like, how dare you say that you're going to go to the movies?
Yes.
And we haven't had a date in like 8 months.
Yeah.
Right.
That's when I realized. I'm like, that's trauma for me.
Yeah, it is.
So I just needed to reel it in and say to her, like, I'm sorry I reacted that way, but this is how I was feeling at the time. So
yes. And was she receptive?
Oh, for sure. She
That's
said,
amazing.
I understand that.
Yes.
Like, I can get why that, and that wasn't fair of me, and you're right. And I'm like, not that I don't want you to go out. I want you to, you're doing well. Like, you're doing great. And she doesn't live with us, but she was there at the house. Anyway. Yeah. So.
It's interesting.
It's so, lots of emotions, right?
Yeah, a lot of emotions.
Yeah. And
have you read the book?
probably
My
not.
daughter has BPD. It's something about my daughter. I really
I'm not
need
sure.
you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, this book you think that like having this conversation, you putting this out to the world, like so many people are going to be like, oh my God, you're living in our living room, right?
That's what I want.
Because
That's what I want.
and this book, it was like somebody has been spying on us, and they, based on our lives, has written this book.
Really.
And every person I've ever talked to who has a child with borderline, they're like, I know, I've read the book, I know. Like, you really think like they've captured
the essence of what you're going
yes.
through.
Yeah. And so just listening to you explain the gut, your PTSD, it's like, it's like I feel you, I get you, I know what exactly what you're talking about.
And for the longest time, I really thought, not so much with being a mom, right, of mental health and addiction. Yeah. It's more so I did like that supportive community when it comes to having a child left with you, and I didn't the things of the support way. So I know that getting this out there, that's what I want. I want to provide a safe space for people to come talk about whatever they want to talk about. Yeah. And get it out to the world and share their story, because you are not alone.
No.
You're not alone.
And in the midst of it all, you feel like you are.
Yes.
And there's, because especially when it first happens, you don't know what's going on. You want to know what's going on, and you don't know who to reach out to, who the resources are at that time. Now they're more so and more prevalent in society. But at the time, it was just like, I'm alone. I don't want to, or shamed, or you're feeling shame. Yeah. You're feeling like you're feeling judged by people, and you don't want to share your story because of.
And nobody's gonna believe it.
Yeah, right.
Like
this is what you know.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff,
the shit that you don't know, like, right? Yeah.
Just when I thought I've seen it all, no.
Anything else you want to talk about? You want to share? You want to give advice about on that topic? What about
advice? I think would be get information. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Reach out to whatever services you think will help you. Sasper Foundation.
Yes, I would have to. If I would say our biggest, like, it gave us like, we can do this. Yeah. Was the Sasper Foundation. Okay. And it gave us the skills to help us survive.
Yeah, and that's what you need.
To keep us together. Yes. To keep us.
And I'm sure it wasn't easy, and I'm sure there were times when you both wanted to kill each other. Yeah.
It's hard to be 100% on each other's side all the time.
It is.
Sometimes you have a difference of opinion not on how to rear a child, just
no offense not to have you on the podcast when I initially asked, but I'm like, you know what, as a mother to a mother, it's just, and then I'm like, they're a team. They are a team. Yeah. And they need to be on the show.
I would have been standing back there just as supportive.
Yeah, and I'm probably sure you probably wanted to come in.
I would probably hear my voice every once in a while.
So I'm glad I reached out to the both of you, and I'm very happy to have both of you. And it was
through our classes that we also learned, like, and when you had mentioned that you wanted me to come on, and of course I wanted to, and then you were like, well, what about Alastair? Should he, shouldn't he? And I was like, through the courses that we've taken, it mostly is the moms. Like the men, I wanted him here because men need to also be not ashamed, and you don't have to be the strongest person. You can't fix everything.
That's right.
Even if it was that you were a single dad, right? You need support. Yep. You need to learn, and it's okay if you're the mom or the dad. Or like I really wanted I want men to feel more comfortable talking about it also.
And accepting it from other people. And
and it's okay to be vulnerable, right? And I think as men and as fathers, we believe our job is possibly to be a protector. Yes. And you can't protect what that is. And so you wonder, what did I do wrong?
Absolutely.
And again, having that, I'm okay with being upset. I'm okay with crying. Yep. I'm okay talking to people about this now. Yeah. We love when people come to us and say, "Hey, will you speak on behalf of your children's lives and talk about Sasper?" And then after we speak, there's strangers coming up to us going, "That was so wonderful. We had no idea." Like even other people we knew in our community. Like, So
And
brave
that's
of
what
you
I
to get up
mean.
here.
Like, I just don't think, like, I would love people to know and for people in their community to
Right.
have the support.
Have
and
the
to
talk. Chat, discuss.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Have some coffee
Yes,
talk.
yeah.
Have a podcast talk.
You do that well.
Yeah, somebody's practicing that.
I haven't watched Long Island Street Sign at all. Yeah, about that. Okay, so
Good
the
job.
family dynamic. How, as a family, as a whole,
Right.
what does that look like, and how did that look at the time? Y'all were going through it.
Are we talking about the starting five, or are we
The
including?
starting five.
Are we
I
talking
think
about?
that it's probably the starting five. I think the starting five.
Okay.
It looked like you were going to smooch her there for a minute.
I thought
was
about it,
waiting.
just-
I know. I'm like, oh, is he going to go in for a kiss? Love that. That's a team right there.
I think because Alastair's parents have always been supportive, my parents have always been supportive. My mom played a very big role in knowing. She probably was out of the grandparents or even our
Uncle,
siblings.
yeah.
Our siblings, my mom would probably know the most. She was
Yeah.
I would almost call her like
First-hand
a part
news.
of the six.
Okay.
She'd be a six.
She'd be there.
Yeah,
Sometimes
she'd
when these things
witness.
would happen.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
yeah, she'd be there for a lot of it.
And what was her reaction like? Like, would she try to calm down? Would calm her down? Would she?
Yeah,
like,
she's the one that's
away?
always like, it's okay, it's okay,
Yeah.
it's okay, it's okay.
Nice, reassuring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Validate. She was really
Validate.
before we
Probably
learned
even knew
how
what validating
validating.
was.
Right.
She was the kids' validator.
Okay.
So that probably is a really good
Yeah. I
explanation.
got to give her a little bit more credit. when
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is actually probably why they always went to her,
I was
because
going
Yeah.
to say, and they would have respected
she was-
and gone to her for
yes,
anything because she was
Yes.
that way. Good for her.
My parents immigrated here in the early '60s, and they, came from my dad from a rural part of Scotland, and my mom from a little more of a city. And their upbringing was probably very different, right? Where, they would think, how has I first reacted when something was wrong with the kids? I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. What's your problem?
Yeah, when Kier
Why are you acting like that?
wasn't eating, right? And she had some diet issues. And I'm like, why can't you just eat?
Yeah.
And it's the wrong answer. It's
Sure,
the wrong statement
totally.
to make,
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
It's completely against,
All of
everything
everything,
that Dana's
all
been
the
doing,
things, yes,
validating.
yeah,
Totally.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, you don't have to eat. Go, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And so that old school mentality was still brought over, not just when
Sure.
I was a kid,
Sure.
but now when my kids
Sure.
were there. Like
Yeah.
my mom was like, what's wrong with them? And so it was very, very challenging to get to win them over
Yeah.
on the battle, how we would be going through. And there were times when we were off the radar with them because they couldn't handle.
Yeah.
They would never be able to handle all the news.
yeah.
Just couldn't do it. They wouldn't
No.
be able to. Just
And-
they're
and
not
also
equipped with that.
You held back.
We
We had
held
to,
a lot
yeah.
back.
We had to soften up
Yeah,
things.
we held a lot back. Make excuses why they weren't
Sure.
there.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
see that. I see
Yeah,
that.
just-
I see doing that with my mom and dad when it was just starting out. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as like our five, like the three kids, like our youngest, we really didn't have to parent him. He was easy to parent
Independent.
because he watched
Most
what the other
responsible.
two were doing
Sure. And
on
then-
us.
Yep.
And he's just like,
Fuck
I
this.
never want to be them.
Yep.
I never want to put my parents through that.
Right.
So we really never had to parent him. It's sad because like they're still young, like he's 24. The damage is really,
Yeah.
a lot of damage has been done
In the formative years for him,
in
right?
their relationship.
Yeah.
Like he does not trust. I mean, as he gets older and as he definitely has a little more understanding now with Kier to see how far she's come, the work she's done, where she is now. But he has very little patience for his big brother. Like, he just wants nothing to do with him. He came home, like he lives out in Whistler. And so when he came home, like,
They didn't spend very much time.
no.
He's got anger towards him, animosity, like just.
I'm not sure if it's anger. I think he's disappointed in the
He's
kind
not-
of crap that we got put through. and he's a bit defensive, and again, a lack of trust.
He does, like, he understands the good in him.
Yeah.
But
it's just not
he
him
just
right
has
now. It's not him right now. So
No.
right.
You often, I say this to a lot of people, and some people are shocked by it because I'm like, I didn't pick my parents. I didn't even pick my kids.
Right.
Really, this one I picked, and
Yeah.
all our friends we've picked,
That's
where
right.
I've made a conscious
That's
decision. And
You
so I
choose your
think
people.
he's in that boat where he's like, I didn't pick
not
who
my
my brother
person.
is.
It's not my person.
Yeah.
Like he's not. Yep. And you have to separate yourself from the toxic people who are affecting your life. She's making good decisions now that she has all of the tools to make those decisions.
Good.
Right. Yeah, that's
Right?
amazing.
And it'll take
So-
time for
And,
them.
and you know, and I'm hoping that's all it is.
Yeah.
My older one is her father.
Yeah.
Like just not a nice person, very
Yeah.
narcissistic, so it's something she has to get over.
Yeah.
Right. Well, again, mental health issues are
Yeah.
family problems, right? So they're, it might take counseling for her if she wants that.
Yeah.
If she feels that.
She's open to it, and
Yeah.
I think we all need it.
Yes.
Because there are some things that we should probably just
But
figure out.
here's where I struggle. And like, I didn't choose my brother either. And I
Yeah.
know I would
He's a
never,
narcissist.
I see him Christmas
Yep, I know.
and a birthday, and
I
you
know.
know what? He has his people,
There,
and I have my people, and he's totally living a happy life, and I'm living my life. And I know when the time comes, like if something happens to my parents, I know that what I need, he will be there for.
Yeah.
And then we'll both go on our merry way.
Yep.
I really believe that. And so before I used to, it weighed on me that how I want the 3 kids to be close because I'm not close
Sure.
with mine.
Sure.
And I see other families. I'm very envious of that.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably one of my deepest, like,
It's fake.
jealous. It's a bad jealousy that I have of other people.
No,
that
I don't think it's jealous. I think it's envy.
Yeah, it's
I think it's envy.
I am
You don't
very
jealous them.
Yeah.
Like
No.
you don't jealous them.
No, I am very
You're not
envious
jealous
of them
Yes,
that they
yeah.
have that.
Yeah.
But because of my own situation, I don't want to force that. I want them to figure it out on their own, work
Organically do
together.
it,
I'll be there to
yeah.
support.
Yeah.
And I just have to accept that it's just not right now.
I think they've seen that
Yeah.
on both sides of our family, right?
Yeah.
Where I had somewhat good relationship with one brother, not so much with the other brother. And so when we're saying to them, you guys got to get along.
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
you
We're
don't.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not a very
you're
good.
grown
You're not a very
men.
good coach or mentor.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
haven't talked to your brother again. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Sure.
You
Sure.
could look back in 4 years of conversations on it, so it's basically the same, whether it's happening
Yeah.
to me in March or happening to him
Yeah.
in October.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of dialogue, right? Now, have things improved? Sure.
Yes.
Will it be where it ever was? No, I don't.
No.
I don't think so, and that's fine.
Yeah.
He's
Too
got
much
his
time,
life.
Too much things.
We'll have at least we can sit in the same room
Yeah.
for
That's nice.
That's come.
A day,
We have
right?
come a long way with that. Yeah.
And you haven't cut off at any point with either one of them. You haven't like literally. My hands are done.
no,
I'm
not
done.
with us. Not with my brother or her brother.
No,
No,
yeah, as
with
parents,
the parents,
to
with
the-
our children.
Yeah.
Well, right now
Either
we're
here
pretty
or-
much in Christmas we had a great Christmas.
Yeah.
Then
Christmas night.
I mean, the kid gets $20 and the first thing he does is go buy drugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just packed his bags.
Yeah.
Changed the locks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said,
We're done.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again,
We'll see where
this
that
is it's the same song playing.
Yeah. Of course. Yep.
But I think I was saying to you earlier, there's something different about me this time.
Because it gets easier every time.
It
was my
really-
response. It gets
Yes.
easier every time it happens, and you're just done. You're just at the point where
Yeah.
you're done.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, there are no more tears.
Yeah.
Like I had to just buck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
a lot easier for us, hey?
I
Unless
think
he
so.
receives treatment, it's
Yes.
not going to happen.
Right.
Yes.
I believe a good treatment well executed
Yes.
after plan.
Yes,
He
I agree.
needs a lot of counseling.
Yep.
Right. There's a lot of
And,
stuff that's
yeah.
going on.
And
Yeah.
there are lots of resources. So
Yeah.
hopefully
Yeah.
he gets it.
Yeah.
God, our
Me
fingers
too.
crossed.
Yeah.
In your life.
Always. All right. So segment, we're going to do Would You Rather or Rapid Fire.
Oh, there we go. Would you rather hop everywhere or skip everywhere?
Skip.
Skip.
You can only hear one song for the rest of your life. Would you rather it be Baby by Justin Bieber or Red by Taylor Swift?
Anything but
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Oh no, I'm gonna
Oh,
say
wow.
Taylor
Justin
Swift.
What
Bieber.
happened?
I'm a
Baby.
I don't care what it is. It's
Just-
not going to be Taylor
Just-
Swift. I do
Okay.
not
No.
enjoy her.
Well,
Okay.
I know Cindy's answer for this one. Would you rather have Dolly Parton's or Billie Eilish's wardrobe?
Oh,
Dolly Parton.
Okay,
Although
good.
Billie Eilish's wardrobe is comfy looking.
Yeah.
Well, I think
And
all
can you get
oversized
into
stuff.
that? Can you fill that other one out? Can you fill Dolly's out?
This is good.
No.
Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future?
Oh God, I don't want to know. I'm not going to be around in 150 years. Who the fuck
Right.
cares?
Who would want
Yeah.
that then? 10 minutes.
10
would be-
minutes
yeah.
for sure.
Oh.
If I
I
go
don't
down
know.
this lane, is it going to be the right lane in
Yeah.
10 minutes?
Right. That's true.
Would you rather smell like feet or smell like eggs? Oh, that's a weird
Oh,
one.
eggs.
Okay.
Feet
Feet?
can be fucking
Eggs
raunchy.
are gross.
Eggs are
Well, I think
gross,
they're-
but some feet with like you think
My
like the
feet.
You're thinking-
gangrene.
It's not saying rotten.
I would love to smell like my feet.
Oh, eggs. Eggs don't have a smell.
It
Smell.
doesn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it doesn't say rotten eggs.
Okay, eggs in the fridge. it
Which is what you think of when you think of
I
smelling
think
eggs,
that's
right?
what you were thinking of. Yeah. Would you rather sleep for a whole year or not sleep at all for a year?
Oh,
No, I don't want to miss a year.
I don't want to miss a year either.
No,
Shit,
it
a
goes
lot can
by
happen in a
so
year.
fast. A lot happens
Oh,
in a
God.
year.
Would you rather team up with Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel?
Oh, Captain Marvel.
Not Captain America. Captain Marvel.
Which
Captain
one's
Marvel.
Captain
the
Marvel?
female Captain? Like, what's
Yeah.
her name?
Brie.
Brie, Larson. Brie Larson.
Oh, and who's Wonder Woman?
Oh, Gal Gadot. Hello.
Oh, right, yeah, her.
Yeah.
Wonder
Yeah,
Woman.
okay.
Yeah.
I was
I'll wait.
thinking Captain something.
Would you rather swim in a pool full of Nutella or a pool full
Anything
of maple
Nutella.
syrup?
Nope, Nutella. Give it to me.
Really?
Melted
No.
Nutella, though.
Wow.
I'll do maple
Isn't it
syrup.
already soft?
Yeah, but it needs to be melted
Okay.
to swim around in there and get it
Okay.
right all in your crevices and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather have the ability to be invisible or to read people's minds?
Oh, see?
I would love to read people's
Really?
minds.
Oh,
I would
Yes.
not want to know what people
Yes.
are thinking.
I think that'd be
okay,
great.
so my husband has no inner dialogue. So can you imagine? I read your mind and there's nothing. It's fucking blank.
What do you mean he has no inner
I
dialogue?
ask him all the time, "What are you thinking about?" And he's
Yeah.
like, "Nothing." I'm like, "You have no inner dialogue."
Does he
No,
like?
he's not. He's not giving you the answer. He's not giving you the.
Does
He's thinking about
he-
something. We always are.
I know, right? I'm like,
Mhm.
"What do you think?" Nothing.
Does he do yoga?
No,
Oh,
he can't.
he'd be great at it though. Or like
He-
meditating. Meditating is what I meant.
Nope.
Wow. Do you think he's lying to you? He's really.
How can he not be?
Yes.
There would have been times when she'd ask me, and if I didn't really want to engage in a conversation, well, I'd just say nothing.
Nothing.
Or
Oh, he
Nice.
says it all the time.
I know. Well, maybe.
You don't want to talk to me
Yeah,
ever.
that's- maybe. I don't know.
Okay, well, that's a whole nother
I
podcast.
Yeah, that is the other one.
Exactly.
Maybe him and I should be on here. The next one.
No, you wouldn't get anything out of it.
Well, I probably might get a few things. Would you rather be a kid your whole life or an adult your whole life?
A kid.
My whole life.
Why wouldn't you want
I
to be a
love my
kid?
childhood. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I feel like I never.
I would like to be like a young adult my whole life.
You want to be at least 19.
No.
Yeah, at least 19.
No.
I had
Okay.
great college years.
I had great high school.
Yeah, I
if
liked
were
high
to
I
go
like high
back,
school.
high school was fantastic.
Yeah, I go
for
back
me.
to high school.
Oh, it was the best time of my life.
Yep, I would agree with
And
that
maybe
too.
2 years after I got divorced.
That's cute.
Would you rather be the cowboy riding the bull or the clown that distracts it?
No, I'd ride the bull. Okay, so let's wrap up. Let's say thank you so much
Yeah.
for being here. I really appreciate
It's
your
been our
time.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
I think this is
It was
a great
conversation.
message to get out there.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thank you.
much, Cindy and Alistair MacKay. Listen, life's messy, love's weird, and sex as well. Sex. Keep vibing, everyone. See you next time. Stay kind. Like, subscribe, and follow me on socials. See you next time, everyone.